we're back, y'all. We're back for another episode, another Virgo to Virgo perception or perspectives. I don't know what I'm really saying right now, but
we're just
we're
happy
here.
we're here.
We're here. We're happy everything's working, everything's cohesive. We're just gonna run with it,
and
right?
we don't look frazzled.
We're always gonna look frazzled. Okay, so today I decided that we would have, so our podcast title is Uncomfortable Growth, but yet we've had questions on here, like an episode of questions, silly questions, sexual, etc., but never like uncomfortable questions. And I decided that it would be even more interesting if Peggy didn't know the questions that I was gonna ask, and she would just have to like, you get to see her facial expressions, which is going to be the best. You get to see her raw first thoughts on the question. There's not really much time for her to think about it. Also, I haven't really put much thought to it. I just kind of just wrote it down, and then I said I would give my thought just as live as she would. So here we are. Are you nervous?
Girl, I'm just concerned about what you're going to ask. But go ahead, proceed.
Okay. So the first round of questions.
Lord.
How many people have you kissed?
Bitch, I don't remember. I don't
That was
remember.
a stupid question. That was just to kind of like open up the conversation. I have
remember.
more introspective questions. What was the last thing you searched on your phone?
Actually, our logo design and where we're gonna put it in the waiting area of our venue space.
Oh, so like your logo sign for your event space.
Yeah, so if people want to do boomerangs or take pictures, that would be like the area for them to do it if they want.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. What have I last searched on my phone? I have to go to a wedding, and so it's black tie, and I'm not confident in my choice of outfit, so I've been trying to find something really last minute. I only have about 1 week to find a black tie. If worst comes to worst, I'm just gonna keep what I have. I'm gonna have to really like dress it up with jewelry, but I'm not really confident in what I have, so there's that. That was a lot. So I was looking for clothes. All right, what is your guilty pleasure? Oh my God, it does. First thought, like guilty pleasure. It could be food associated, it could be social settings, it could be whatever. It could be anything. Quick, these are fire rapid.
I wouldn't consider it a guilty pleasure. It's just a pleasure of mine. I mean, I don't freaking know. I know people are like, well, duh, you should enjoy it. You know how some people hate the part of getting their feet done? When they're like, gotta get the dead skin off your feet. I actually enjoy it. I know how to turn off that sensation of, like, you know, when your feet starts to tickle. Some people are bound to kick the person that's doing it.
I think that I think for you, you get your feet done so often, like it's like a scheduled thing for you that you kind of accustomed to getting them done and like filed down.
And you know what else gives me a tickling sensation that I actually love, I enjoy part? When they're cutting the fucking cuticles, when they're cleaning whatever grows up out from the nail, I guess. That actually is soothing to me. Some people don't like certain things that people hate, like going to the dentist. I'd be laying there like, yup, get my teeth clean, because I don't want to be walking around with halitosis. That's what my mind is at. People are like, oh my God, I'm so scared of the dentist. I don't mind it with children. They have that fear. But for me, I'm like, I can't wait for my next appointment. Clean my fucking teeth. I enjoy it. I don't find it as a guilty thing for me.
Okay, my guilty pleasure is alone time. Like, that is the most happiest I'm ever.
It's
like,
good
that's like
to be alone sometimes.
I love just being by myself, having a good movie or a good podcast, or just having like a solid ass like playlist of music, something like bomb to eat, and just be in my own space. Like, that is honestly, truly the happiest you'll ever find me. But you'll never find me because I'm alone.
Wait, relating to that question you asked, I was listening to the radio because I listen to, I have XM I don't listen to the regular radio anymore. So this guy was, people were calling up saying they're guilty pleasures, and the guy said, stop calling them guilty pleasures. You shouldn't feel guilty about enjoying something that makes you happy.
Yeah.
Like, because they were talking about songs. Like, what song would you listen to, that you enjoy listening to, that your friends probably would never think? Because, you know, some people assume that because you're black, you only listen to hip-hop and stuff, or rap.
Yep.
But in fact, some of these pop songs, I've been like, them shits be hitting.
Nah, for me, it's definitely classical music or instrumental only. Like, I just sometimes
hearing
words.
a saxophone. You know the part of the song Summer Walker has, "Unloyal," the part with the jazz. I mean, not the jazz.
Oh, you
the
should hear
saxophone
the
takes
first
over.
part. Yes, 100%.
I love it.
100%. Also, she has a song called "Karma." It's the first, right before she starts talking.
Mm-hmm.
It's so bomb. Like that very intro, bomb.
I like that. So when he said that, that was like when I was driving home from work when I heard that part. And usually I skip over it because he be speaking outlandish shit sometimes. But he was, for those of you who have a Sirius XM radios, Shade 45. It's usually, he comes on in the afternoon, something Jude, whatever his name is, comes on at like 4 or 5 o'clock. And he said it, stop calling it guilty pleasures. He's like, this is something you enjoy. People may not like it, that's fine, but it's something you enjoy and you shouldn't feel guilty about it. It's like, it's not a crime to listen to what you listen to. It's not a crime to enjoy these things that makes you you. Calling it guilty makes it like you gotta hide yourself from people to do it. So, I mean, you being alone, some people might think, oh, that's weird. No, it's not.
I think that's what it is. You feel guilty for enjoying something because other people... I had a lemon piece on my lip.
Oh, you was eating lemon?
It's
the lemonade.
Limonada. So yeah.
Okay,
some people find it strange, so like I feel guilty even admitting to that, but fuck y'all.
You ain't about to make me feel guilty for enjoying something that brings me peace.
Right. You bring me heartache.
All
right. If you can go back in time and change something you said or did, what would it be? Stop making those damn faces.
No, because what I was about to say, I'm like, I stand on whatever the fuck I said.
No, I'm sure there's something you've said or done that you would want to change.
I'll say the only thing possibly I want to change is probably like my relationship with my mom growing up. You know, my rebellious stage and not listening. I mean, it's normal teenagers or whatever, because not realizing, like, you know, the things, even though her and my dad was strict. Well, I can't say it's strict anymore because they're not strict.
Yeah.
And they're still alive. But they were strict in that aspect because part of it was protection, fear, and whatnot. And, you know, my attitudes, I think about it now because I'm like, I can't be giving my parents these attitudes because it's like, you know, those movies or stories we hear, like, the last conversation they had with someone wasn't good and then they end up I don't want that regret. I don't want that on my conscience or my heart. You know, I love my parents. I may not always agree. We may not always agree with everything, but I feel like that's the only thing I probably would have changed, like, growing up. Like, but I'm thinking from a teenager lens, so of course it was like probably normal for me to react that way, but not realizing, you know, what if that at that moment at 16, 17, that was my last interaction with my parents, not realizing, you know what I mean? So I'm grateful that they're still here and stuff, and that wasn't the end result of that. So I think that's the only thing I'll probably change.
I think for me it would be any and everything I've said out of anger. Although it may have been what I was feeling, I don't think it was received in the way that I wanted you to receive it.
It's the verb.
So, and I get angry plenty of times. So, any and everything I've said out of anger, whether I meant what I said, I'd rather never speak when I'm angry. So there's that. Okay. If you could trade lives with one person in this room, who would it be?
Why are you looking at me? Not in this room, bitch, and there's only 2 of us.
Bitch, so you only have one fucking option.
She's like,
and you better answer right. You better not be this bitch in the back either.
You gotta broaden that though.
No, one person in this room, who would it be?
That's the part that kills me. One person in the room. It's just us and these inanimate objects. Like,
I would trade. Been through it with all.
Yeah, I'll trade spaces with Jessica. Who would you trade? Like, bitch.
I would never trade.
Shut up.
I'm perfect. No, sir. Okay, broaden it, of course. If you could trade one places with anyone, who would it be?
Honestly, I don't know how to answer that because I don't want anybody else's life. I just probably want the resources they have to make my living a little bit comfortable for me.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want, because these celebrities, because I know you guys will probably say, she's probably gonna say a celebrity now. These celebrities literally have a life. They do the same shit we do. The only exception is we see them all the time. Now with social media and paparazzi, I don't know if paparazzi still exists, but with social media and people always recording and stuff, we see them. But they literally go to grocery stores. They spend time with their kids. They travel. The only thing is they're out and about. We know them from movies, from entertainment, or if they're athletes in sports or whatever. That's the only thing. And the money that they have.
Answer the God.
I already answered the question.
But you didn't give me a name. You didn't give me a person. There has to be one person. And not to say like, oh, you would love to be in this person's shoes, but like, everyone has
honestly, I would like, I know you guys probably like, here she go. I would like to be in Michelle Obama's shoes. To see what it's like to actually be in the White House. Because reading her book, Becoming, how she talked about how she was raised, growing up, how she met Obama, Barack, I shall say, or whatever, and her experience, like seeing how it felt like to live in the White House, dealing with the day-to-day, trying to live a normal life, even though you're in the spotlight, and people taking her words out of context. Like reading that part of her book, especially that part where people took her words out of context, make it seem as though she didn't like America.
Yeah. Like
that part really pissed me off because it's like, y'all really wasn't trying to, y'all don't take the time to understand what people are saying. Y'all just literally take what they say and run with it instead of trying to understand the context. So I think if I could, would be in that just.
Okay. For me, if I could pick one person, there obviously have to be stipulations. If I could pick one person, it would be my mom. But only because if I could carry the knowledge and experience and mental how I think and believe and view things, and switch places with her, but kept her discipline, bitch, you couldn't tell me shit. Okay, my mom is very docile in some ways, but she's very disciplined and she's very much like that, and I'm not. I don't know where the fuck I got this shit from. Like, I don't know.
Dad like that?
My dad's. We're not going there. Anyways. But I have so many ideas. I'm very creative. I just get bored easily. I get like lack of motivation comes like.
There's literally a clip where it says black women. The girl's literally flipping through her book. She's like, I'm bored. Let me go back to school. Let me go start a business. It's like, yo, literally, like I get bored too. I literally have to tell myself like, you need to fucking relax.
Yeah. But I think my mom prevented herself from experiencing life in the way that I think she deserves, and so if I could switch, it would be with her. But it's only to offer her a better life, I guess, because of all. But I have to carry what I know now and how I view life with me.
Okay.
If I trade places, okay. Cool. All right. If you could have a dinner party with any 3 people, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Hold on.
You want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead, start.
I'll say it. My 3 people would be Michael Jackson, Beyonce.
Because they're Virgos? You think
No. I just like their work ethic and I just like the way they think. And I think the last person for me would be, and I don't even know if he's in the category of person or like he's not in human form, but God. The God that everyone, because I'm very conflicted in like religion, right? It's just so contradicting, so it's very hard for me to like accept it for what it is. But if there is a God, I believe in a higher power, but the God that you guys all talk about in your Bible, that one, if he was real, I'm not saying he's not. What I'm saying is, if he's real, I would like to be in a dinner. I just want to understand. So like Beyonce for like her motivation, her dedication, and everything else, because I don't have that. And then Michael for his creativity and just like his way of thinking. And then the God that everyone prays to that I have a very hard time accepting.
Okay. Because I thought you was going to go on a long list of like Virgos. I'm like, wow.
I just, Beyonce and Michael Jackson really, like they're like, they're beyond any human form of a person. Like, I
can't even speak, y'all.
I can't even compare them to anybody. Like, who could you compare them to? Dead or alive? They are the closest thing to God.
I would say, honestly, I would want to sit with Beyonce. Like, ask her, how do you do it?
Yeah.
Right?
I like her. Yeah, okay, I can go on and on about Beyonce, but go.
I would like to meet Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
While you meet with God, I'll meet with Jesus.
we compare notes.
Compare notes and see what's going on. I really would like to sit with him, have conversations.
Yeah.
From the Bible's perspective, it showed that he had conversations with people. Like, he would talk to the people that the average person wouldn't even want to look at due to their conditions, right? And I still see in today's world, some people are still like that. I would like to have a conversation with him. The third person, I would like to probably have a conversation with my mom's younger self.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Like, to see, because she's born in 1952, so baby booming era in Haiti. So living in Haiti in that time, in that era was different from what was going in America, of course. I would like to speak to her younger self, sit down, like maybe her mid-teens or something, see what it was like for her.
That's actually really good, actually. I would love to, like, meet my mom's teenage self.
Right? Like, see, like, because you know how when we talk
to... She don't even remember half her teenage years. She's just like, what? I don't know.
No, I really want to see it because you know how they be like, I don't know where you get this energy from. Like, I'm like, that
you.
has to be you. Who else? You. Like, no, I'll be forgetting you birthed me, so it's definitely from you. If it's not my dad, so... Yes. Yeah. Next question.
I highly doubt that's from your dad. That's definitely your mom. Your dad is just...
very mellow.
Very chill. He's always happy. Like, when you see him, he doesn't look angry ever.
He's a jokester. My mother hates that he jokes around a lot.
Yeah. And then your mom is with a serious face. She's the mom that I remember my mom being. So maybe you have this hope that your mom can be docile like mine. I don't know.
I don't know when that's going to happen.
Okay. In what ways do you self-sabotage? She's about to go down the list. She's about to run it down. I'm here for it. Go ahead.
Can you define self-sabotage for people?
Like, ruining something for yourself in whatever capacity. Like, if an opportunity arises, you talk yourself out of it.
I've done it. You said how I do it?
In what ways do you self-sabotage? Like, what do you do? Like, what's the...
Okay, so... Who was I talking to? I think I was on the phone with my friend Sandra like last week, and I was telling her, or was it Wilson? I don't remember. It was one of the two. I said that how like growing up where my parents were strict in the sense like, you know, can't go out by yourself, can't do this. But it got to a point in stage in my life where I'm in my 20s, I can drive now. There's certain things like a lot of people don't know about me. I don't do it. I don't feel that way anymore. But in my early 20s, this is where I'm supposed to be going out and explaining. I was petrified of doing things on my own. So, like, if Jessica couldn't go with me or my other friends, I'm not going. So I missed out on certain things. I may have missed out. Probably it was protection too. Who knows? But I may have missed out on certain opportunities because I didn't go to a certain venue that was offering a certain program, or I felt I wasn't good enough. So I'd be like, nah, I'm not ready. I don't think I'm ready for it. Not realizing that maybe going to this business forum could prepare me for something, or this thing for whatever reason could prepare me. But I was telling myself, no, I can't go to that. I'm not ready to go to that, or I don't want to go by myself. So it wasn't until like my late 20s, pushing 30s, I realized, girl, take that trip. Go to that brunch by yourself. Go to that women's empowerment thing by yourself, because you may meet someone else there that could be a networking opportunity for you to meet other women, or those women may have men in their lives or whoever in their lives that can connect me to something else that I'm looking for, right? So that's where I realized I was self-sabotaging myself by like convincing myself, well, if my friends can't go on, if they can't go with me, I'm not going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I realized not to do that. So the only way I tell myself no, I'm not doing it, is if I feel like I do not have the mental capacity to handle it at the moment. I literally feel like physically not ready, mentally not ready, because I have a lot going on. But I no longer tell myself, you shouldn't do it, because for whatever reason, I'm trying to psych myself out of doing it.
I think it's more out of fear of doing something by yourself.
Yeah.
For me, I self-sabotage and when I don't feel confident in something, I blame it on like my perfectionism. So like I'll say, oh, how am I gonna phrase this? Okay, I'm a perfectionist, right? And so sometimes if it's something I don't want to do, or if it's something that I'm afraid of, I'll say, oh, it's not gonna come out the way I want it to. It's not gonna come. It's how I envision it to be. I don't have enough time for it, so I will just self-sabotage in that way, like because of fear, basically. So it's all based on fear.
Now we see the correlation here, guys. Fear will hinder you from doing things.
Yeah. Yep.
And you miss out on
and then
a lot.
you realize, because then there's been other opportunities where I was kind of pushed to do something, right? Even though I try to like talk myself out of it, and then I get there and it's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It was actually even better than I thought it was gonna be.
I like it here.
And I love it here. And I actually learned something in that space. So yeah, fear is it rehabilitates you in so many ways where like you miss out on so many great opportunities.
Yep.
All right. Are there any conversation topics that make you uncomfortable? Like, what makes you uncomfortable? What are some conversation topics that make you uncomfortable?
None, actually.
You's a fucking lie.
No, I don't think...
There's no conversation right now that if I brought it up, you would be like, I don't want to talk about that right now.
No, sometimes it may... And I may not be uncomfortable. I may not be ready to talk about it, but it wouldn't make me feel like, oh, no. Like, I'm uncomfortable talking to people about that. No. It's just not ready, or I feel like it's not the appropriate space for me to talk about it. But at this stage of my life, I'm not... I've heard the most disgusting conversation. I'll be all in it like, for real? Say more.
That is the nosy in me.
Part of it's the nosy in me. Some people like they just can't have certain conversation over dinner. I'll speak. I'ma still eat.
Say it with your chest.
Say it with your chest. I'ma still eat. Say what you gotta say. I don't care. No, I'm not uncomfortable with any conversation. A question may be brought up and mentally I wasn't prepared to discuss that or open those can of worms yet, but not uncomfortable where it's like making me squirmish that I don't want to speak about it.
Yeah.
How about you?
I think I've said this in another episode, but I am uncomfortable talking about sex on here. I'll talk sex on this motherfucking here podcast. One, because I can never articulate my perception of sex and my preferences and all that in a way that I won't be judged. And I feel like regardless of the fact, people are gonna judge you. Whatever. I know this. Am I ready to deal with that judgment and have to defend my thoughts and my feelings and my viewpoints? I'm probably not, because I'm gonna fight. Like, you don't fucking know me. This fucking hour conversation that we have every week, you couldn't even even if we dropped an episode every fucking week, you still wouldn't know me as a person. One, because I'm constantly evolving, but two, it was never a conversation to be had in the house when I grew up, so it's always uncomfortable for me as an adult to have those conversations, because it was kind of like, we don't talk like that, we don't speak about those things as a private matter.
And this is why we ended up pregnant early, because y'all don't want to talk about it.
Listen, I mean, in any decision, in life decisions, it doesn't matter. Anyways, I'm jumping off topic and I want to stay on topic. But long story short, sex is always difficult for me to talk to, even though I'm very fluid and in that way. But yeah. Anyways, next question: would you rather find your soulmate or your life's purpose? I knew it. I knew that was gonna be the one too.
I think I already found my soulmate.
But no, if you didn't have either or.
Okay, my life's purpose. Because sometimes I wonder, why am I here?
Right.
What am I doing?
Not here to be kept.
Who am I here for?
God, what
Hello out there.
I feel like people soulmate for me is such a way of thinking. Like, oh, I gotta find my soulmate and settle down and have a family and have kids or whatever. And that's not gonna be the root of your happiness. I think the root of your happiness is gonna be coming from your life's purpose. So if you truly want to be happy in life, you need to find your life's purpose.
And you might still find your soulmate that way anyways. If those are what you're
I know,
seeking.
but like, your soulmate can make you happy, but like, do you want your happiness to be solely based on a physical person?
Oh, no. I'm not basing it off of to find the happiness within that person. I'm saying like with the life purpose, right? You're happy, and in the mixture, you're not
blending you're blending the question. The question is either or.
Whatever.
And my thing is, a soulmate, I assume, I can only imagine, is in the physical form. When that physical form is gone, okay, when I think of soulmate and life's purpose, I think of happiness, right? So which one do you want to be the root of your happiness? Do you want it to be a physical form of a person who's going to bring all these great memories, experiences, and happiness in your life? Or do you want something that is yours and is meant for you, curated for you, to make you happy? And you can't take it because it's not a physical form. It's a thing. It's I guess it's not even an inanimate object. It's like a thing. Whatever it is, whether being a teacher is your life purpose or whatever. But I just can't put my happiness on a person. I literally cannot.
Well, you didn't really necessarily break that down in the question.
Well, that was the question, but now that okay, fair enough, because you jumbled the question, and I'm going to, and I just kind of gave you like a focal point, so you can jumble and blend the question.
So, okay, the happiness part, I get it, because I do not believe in solely believing that this person, your happiness is supposed to be in another person, because trust and believe they're gonna upset you, you're gonna have disagreements, you're gonna get angry. So what you gonna do now when that happiness kind of fizzles away?
Out, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like we're human, we evolve every day, like you said. I probably am not the same person I was like a month ago. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
So I cannot solely base my whole happiness on a person. Now, if we were taught to like find our life's purpose, but love people along the way without hurting them. Of course, some people are not going to agree with your decisions. Along that path, you, without even intending on finding a soulmate, you might find your soulmate in the process of your life purpose. That you, not saying you guys like the same things, but you guys are on that same journey and you guys understand each other. Because if I'm on the path to find my life purpose, but you're on the path of something else, sometimes it may not click, right? So if we're both on that same path and our paths end up intertwining with each other and it's meant to be, if it's meant to be, that's like double the pleasure for me. I feel like, you know what I mean? But if it's solely based on happiness, then absolutely not. Don't put your whole happiness in another human being. Because listen, kids piss you off. Can you imagine a whole adult pissing you off?
Yeah.
Now what?
Right.
Now you're upset. Now you don't want to be with him or her, whatever. So I've learned not to put my happiness on a person, because sometimes I don't wake up happy every single day. So why would I expect that person to make me happy every day? And that's what we got to get out of that grass. Like, it was I think common thing to hear where, I need to find someone to make me whole or my better half. I get that, saying the whole better half thing, but I want to be my whole person meeting another whole person, and we combine these whole people together, not half and half. Because where's my other half?
Right.
The other half is missing, right? And then now you're missing yourself. This is when you start noticing red flags and other shit that like shit, maybe we weren't supposed to connect with each other. So from those different perspectives, if it's solely based on happiness, no.
Like, it's always nice to have a soulmate, of course, because that's the person that will know your inner self. But when that physical form is gone, where are you gonna get your happiness from?
Right. That's why I feel like if it's solely based on happiness, find your life's purpose. But if it's like on the whole concept of just doing it without expecting to find someone, and you know when they say when you least expect it, that's when things come your way, and who knows, you might find the person of your dreams. I don't know. But when you're putting in your mind like, I know I'm gonna find the man of my dream, if I do this, then you're not really doing it for you.
People who like, I just need to find a man and I'll be happy. You need help. Anyways, what is the most challenging thing Jessica, the dyslexia is coming out. Jesus Christ. All right. What is the most challenging thing you're dealing with in your life right now? What is the most challenging? Okay, girl. Bloopers. Okay. What is the most challenging thing you're dealing with in your life right now? And I already know what you're gonna say, but go ahead.
You already know finally trying to open up the venue space and stuff. And
I can't wait for you. I want to have a podcast about that.
Open up the venue space, and I think that's the only biggest challenge I'm having right now. That's the only thing that's truly stressing me out. That's it. Like, not everything in my life is perfect, but those are doable. I can handle those. Those are like, I'll go to sleep and wake up tomorrow and handle it. But this is what it's like, because this is what's putting a hold on the money making aspect, right? You don't want people passing out in your venue if it gets too hot, especially when you get alcohol mixed in.
Oh, God.
I mean, even though we're dealing with that, I mean, there's small little victories in there. Like, we got approved by the state for our alcohol license. It's just that we have
full license?
Like, full license. I can have beer, alcohol, like heavy alcohol, not just wine and beer, like the full thing.
Wine and spirits?
Wine and spirits. I don't know why they wine and spirits.
That's dumb, because it takes your fucking spirit out.
It takes your fucking soul.
And it sucks the fucking soul out.
But yeah, continue.
All right, so I guess my most challenging thing at this very moment is combating what I am associating as depression. I have no motivation to do anything. If you let me sleep, I will fucking sleep all day. All day. And people, I think, unfortunately, especially at work, they say like depression looks different
on everyone.
In everyone, right? So because I'm a functioning depressive person, they think I'm not depressed, or they think I'm not like dealing with shit. And it's no one specific thing. I think it's just I'm burnt out and I'm just like ready to sleep. So
I've told my therapist I was a functional depressed person. Like, yeah, I'm doing everything I gotta do because I need to do it. I need to live. Because people think automatically you're depressed, you're suicidal.
You're supposed to be suicidal. You're supposed to be in bed ridden. No matter what responsibilities are at the door, like you just ignore them, and that's not true.
There's different. Just like we know, pregnancy is different in everybody. Having certain sicknesses are different for everybody. Depression is the same way too. It's different for everyone.
Right.
And it looks different, and there's levels
layers,
to it. Because I can get up every day and go to work, do what I gotta do, and still not feel like myself, not happy.
I guess the best way to depict what type of depression we're talking about is like, imagine somebody who's just like walking, but they have chains and balls attached to their legs, and they're just like pushing through, and they're just pushing through, and they're just pushing through. Because we're laughing, we're smiling, we're doing all that fun, all this shit, and we're joking. This is probably the things that make the depression less depressing. Like recording or being around family and stuff like that. So I try not to like fall into this, let's just sleep until it's gone. So I put myself in spaces and in places where I'm forced to be alive, I guess.
Wow, the pressure is getting worse. Yeah.
Anyways, when's the dyslexia? Okay, when was the last time you felt deeply inspired and why? You know what? Actually,
weirdly enough, I think it was before COVID when Tyler Perry won that award, and he was talking about like keep doing what you need to do for yourself, and pretty much talking about how he literally just purchased a land to create his own studio, and the land that he purchased it from was once previously considered Confederate land. If anyone knows what Confederates are, these are people who wanted to keep slavery alive, to keep their traditions going. So don't let these new age people whitewash history, because that's did it. What culture were they trying to keep? Slavery, because that was their money maker in the South. So anyways, and that motivated me, but it made me sad because it's like as a group, and I know with Black people, we are all over the freaking world. Black people are we're not monolithic. Like we're not just one person. You see in various skin tones, hairstyles, how our hair can defy gravity. Some of us have super straight hair, some of us have super curly hair or coily hair, whatever. It just pains me sometimes that we're so stuck on our differences, whether it's culture or language, that we don't realize how, like, together we can come as one. Like, other cultures, other groups of people will protect their culture no matter where they're at. But we don't do the same. But we fail to realize how, like, everything else moves because of black people, no matter where we're at. I don't care if you're African. I don't care if you're from the Caribbean or from South America, Central America, or from these parts of the United States, Canada, whatever. We are everywhere. And a lot of things in society move, they imitate us. They don't do it right, of course. You know, like we say, you can take the recipe, but you don't have the same sauce. And we already know that a lot of people like to pull from our culture. And I'm telling y'all this, and I think I said it last season. Stop inviting everybody to our fucking cookout. And I'm speaking figuratively. Stop inviting people to the fucking, because they know how to do a little something that we consider black. Stop. Because this is why anyone can step into our culture and do whatever the fuck else they want. When I see other prominent black people do well, I like to see all black people do well. I don't care if it's in the realm of what people consider ghetto or the undesirable black people. I love us. I just wish we could do better. Because white people got people what they would consider white trash, and they will still, they might separate them from society, but they won't disown them. They'll still defend them if need be, but we don't. And we're so quick to down each other. Like, I don't have to like every single fucking thing you do. I really don't. But we can come together for certain things, you know? We can come together for certain things. Like, I don't even gotta know you from a hole in the wall. We know the common cause. Protect our culture, protect what we got going on, or whatever. Don't just let anybody in here. Because when you let anybody in, they fuck up the energy. And y'all know this. It sounds like your house. You don't just let anybody in your house because they fuck up the energy. And this is what I feel like been going on with black culture. Like, we allow just anyone to come in because they know how to do a few things, or they can speak our lingo.
Yeah.
You ain't saying nigga around me. That's all I know. But I think when I see, like, people like Tyler Perry, or even just regular black people doing the things that I see online on social media, I'm like, yo, this is why I love us. Like, just that thread I sent to you the other day, changing the word scream to scroll.
Scrumped.
Scrumped.
Never scrumped like that before.
The scream I just scrumped. Like, shit like that. Like, what other culture you know that can come up with shit and we create our own, like, vocabulary? Like, come on. And you know, give it another day or two, TikTok influencer, and we know who they are. They're going to be creating their own stuff and trying to say it the way we say it and don't have no flavor. Because they have a few black friends.
Given just salt and pepper.
A little salt and pepper. They might add a little Mrs. Dash if you will.
Oh my
but
God.
I truly feel inspired and moved when I see our own kind doing dope things, and we're not just viewed in the light or perspective of as a drug dealer or on drugs or not giving a fuck. And there's levels to blackness, and I just hate when we're viewed as one.
Yeah, we're grouped in. Yeah. Yep. For me, the last time was the most recent. One of our past guests, Keisha, released her podcast, and I listened to the first episode, and I was like, my creative juices were just flowing. I was over here like, okay, Jessica, we need to do something. So I have like these creative thoughts in my head that I'm trying to put on paper so that I can start the process of what I want to do for myself. But yeah, that was the last time I felt chill. Like, I listened, it was only 24-minute podcast. It's called Black Coffee Before Dawn. Everyone should go and listen to it. It's very fucking good.
Thank you, Keisha.
Yeah, thank you, Keisha. But yeah, like, she's genuinely, you wanna know something's funny? So we went to middle school. I'm the awkward girl in middle school. I don't even know how Peggy became my friend. But I was the awkward girl in middle school, and so when Peggy was like, oh, I think I have a great person for this podcast episode, and she said Keisha, and I'm like, damn, I don't even remember if Keisha liked me or if I didn't like Keisha. Like, how did that relationship go? But the minute she walked in, the energy she brought was like, I don't even remember what our relationship was like in high school and middle school, but it didn't matter in that moment because she came in with positive energy. She's genuinely a positive person. Like, what you see on her podcast, on her page, is who she is 24/7. Yeah, like to the point where like she stayed probably like a little over an hour after recording.
We were just
talking, and how much she wants to, what all the plans she has for black businesses, black women, and like where her thought is on that. I don't know. She just, that podcast episode was just the first episode, and it was nothing. It was just her just explaining what she's doing, but like, I don't know. I felt the energy, so that's what the last time I was inspired. Okay, what makes you feel free? Not you running your hand through that fucking horse hair.
First, the fuck of all,
it's my hair because I bought it.
That's what girls be saying. It's my hair though. I bought it. What makes me feel free is like I don't know, taking a good trip. Like when I have to hop on a plane, and mind you, I hate planes, hate them, but I feel good. And this is me, like an hour into that new city. You say, I can live here. I can really live here. But no, I truly feel free because when I literally once I see that cement building, welcome to Boston Logan Airport, I'm like, oh God. But I really,
once you hear the pilot said, "We are now entering Boston," I'm like, fuck you.
And here go everyone clapping, like, what you fucking clapping for? It's cold out here. Like, what the fuck? But I truly feel free no matter where I'm going.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a new place I haven't been. Super excited. That's when I truly feel like, oh my God, I can't. Because I know that I made reservations for certain things. But I'm just excited to see like the people there and what it's like, especially Black culture. Whenever I stay at a city, I want to see their African American museum, what art they have. The last time I physically left Massachusetts, I went to Houston, and their African American History Museum is so fucking dope. The day parties, the brunch spots, everyone's pretty much friendly. The ones that I met, and the vibes. Just us getting along. I don't gotta fucking know you. Just us getting along and seeing different aspects of Houston. Just for Houston. I'm only speaking in regards to Houston. For the few days that I was there, I really, truly enjoyed it. And this was me. I can live out here. And the cost of living is totally different. The housing,
my God, yeah.
You can get a big ass house with a big ass yard for.
But is the salary?
So the salary is different. I feel like it depends. Like if you have a job here that you can transfer over and
it'll work out perfect.
And there's a need, I think it'll work out perfect. I personally would not teach in Texas because of, you guys see what they've been doing on the news when it comes to teaching real history. They have a problem with that. I would get fired on the spot. So no. Yeah. So I wouldn't want to teach out there.
You be in jail. She's teaching. What are they reading? Something. Critical thinking? Is it
no, critical race theory. But racism is not a fucking theory. It's not something we can ponder about it if it's actually happening. It is fucking happening.
It's happening.
So there's no theory behind it. I'm not gonna do a thesis, a hypothesis, and all this and do research. We know it. So when these research studies be coming out like, it is in fact true that Black women are dying at higher rates. We knew this. Duh. What are you telling me?
Yeah.
We already knew.
Alright, so for me, I truly feel free because a lot of times I feel like I'm performative. Like I have to present a certain way when I'm around specific people. But I truly feel free when I am talking with or around my cousin, who everyone knows is like, that's my soulmate.
So I don't lying to me?
No, but I feel like I have to like I can't, like sometimes the way I think, I don't feel like anyone can really understand me. Like, cause it's not packaged in a way that you can just, I say it, I regurgitate it to you and you understand right away. It's something you have to process. It's something you have to like, what the fuck is she talking about? Cause I'm so all over the place in my brain. So a lot of the time, probably 90% of the time, I don't say what's in my head right away. I have to process it, package it, and then deliver it to you. Because that's the only way you're going to understand. I don't want to have to explain my thoughts. So in my head, when I'm talking to somebody and we're having a conversation, I have to like, Jessica, she asked you this question. All right, like let's make sure it's formatted correctly. Make sure it makes sense to everybody. Like that's how my brain thinks. So when I'm talking to my cousin, I could literally just throw up whatever is in my brain, and my cousin is already programmed to put the pieces where they need to go and make sense of it. And so it's very minimal thinking. I just say what I say and she understands. And so that's when I truly feel free. Thanks, Sandy. Anyways, how would you describe me in 3 words? And you better be fucking honest and not funny.
Procrastination.
Procrastinator.
But it's just you, so I know. That's why I say procrastination. Yeah, procrastinator. I can say you care beyond words for the people around you. I wouldn't even say you're a caring person. I need to find another descriptive word for that, because you're beyond that. And I personally feel like you're goofy in a good way. Like, you may find it awkward, but I think it's what makes you you. Your goofiness.
I thought you were gonna say creative.
Well, you already mentioned that you're creative.
And I already mentioned I'm a procrastinator, but yet you used it. Bitch, be fucking original at this point. I done mentioned procrastination about 100 times on this goddamn podcast. This here podcast.
Ooh, child. Lord.
Okay, let me get to my 3. I would say driven. Driven as fuck. Like, you know what you want and you're gonna fucking do it no matter what it takes. I will say worrywart. Is that the word?
Yeah, worrywart.
Because as many times as if I fucking told this bitch that it's gonna be done, she still proceeds to remind me of things that I need to get done.
I thought it was a worrywart. But okay.
Yeah, because in your head, like, I need definitive answers. I can't say, oh yeah, it'll get done. Like, you said it earlier.
Yeah.
You said, whenever she asks me about something, it's almost always pertaining to the podcast, but, like, if she says, like, hey, did you get this done? I'm like, did you get it? Like, you didn't get it? This is not fucking done. The fuck are you asking me? But in my head, it's not even the due date for it. So, like, it's not, like, you know I'm a procrastinator, but yeah, you still ask me about things that I still have a lot of time in my head to do.
I'm glad you said it here. Bitch will only have a day left. Yeah, I got enough time.
I gotta figure out how I'm gonna upload this podcast by tomorrow.
I get stupid.
But it gets done. That's one thing I've proven. The only time it didn't get done was that day I lost the whole fucking
Well, that
edit.
had nothing to do with you. You had no control.
I was ready. I was like, all right, upload, I can go to bed. Bitch, when I got back into that goddamn application and it was gone.
That screen was white as these lights right here. I'm like, where's the video?
I don't see
This is me giving hope. Maybe it'll pop up by tomorrow. Let's sleep on it.
Let's sleep it off. I woke up at 4 o'clock mad concerned about it. And we had to just push the whole fucking episode the whole week. Yeah. I was so mad.
So ghetto.
Okay, so what did I say? What did I say?
Determined and worrywart.
A worrywart. And then 3rd, I will say, what can I say about you?
Oh, wow.
I want to make sure I don't use something that we already said on this fucking podcast. Because, you know, that's cheating. And I think a solid ass friend. That's what I think. You
10 toes down.
10 toes the fuck down. A solid ass friend, because you're the longest friend I've had, and I don't ever question your friendship, even though you get on my goddamn nerves. I've literally never questioned her friendship. Like, never. I never said, that bitch is lying. I never thought about that. That bitch is fake. I've never thought of that.
You fake ass bitch.
You fake ass bitch. Actually, I will say this, because I wanted to bring this up, and before the last question, because we have one more question. I had told Peggy that I was going to do something on a specific date. That date came and went, right? And it was towards the end of the night. And she was like, hey. And I was like, fuck. I was like, and I told her, like, yo, I completely forgot. And I know she had to take a breath. She was probably like, yo, these lights are hot as shit. But no, it's for me laughing. And I know she probably had to breathe before she sent me this voice note.
Oh, no, I wasn't.
But she was like, okay, I need you to, what did you say specifically? I need you to do what? Basically, in summary, she said, I need you to take ownership of the things that you said you were going to do, because I'm like stretched beyond my capacity, and so it's hard for me to like hold you accountable for something that you already took ownership of. And I said, instead of being angry at her for her calling me out on my bullshit, I appreciated it. I was like, you know what? She's absolutely fucking right. There's literally no reason why for me to be offensive or defensive with her, because she's not saying anything wrong. And so in that very second, I came up with everything I said I was going to come up with. I was like, bitch, say less. I got you. But you see how quick that bitch came. That bitch came in 30 minutes. She got all her fucking answers.
When I sent it, I said, oh shit, Jessica might get mad.
No.
Because I feel like she's going to bitch! First of all, I'm going to do it.
It's going to get done.
Yeah. But yeah, no, because it was like, I'm driving home. I just finished doing touch-up paint and doing all this other stuff, and I'm like exhausted. I'm like, oh shit, when I get home, I want to like
connect with Justin.
See
what she got with all the shit that she said
so
she's
we can match up and stuff. And so next thing you know, she's like, wait, I forgot. And I think, but I literally, I wasn't even worried because I wasn't angry. I was just saying like, I just need your help in this. Like, I need you to kind of step up a little bit, because I don't want us both falling behind on anything. And
I think that's honestly one of my like superpowers. Like, I never get offended when my friends hold me accountable. It don't matter what tone you give it to me in. If I said I was gonna do something and I didn't do it, you have every right to cuss me out, yell at me, whatever, and I will never, ever be like, fuck you, bitch. I'll be like, say less. I got you. I'm about to do that shit right now. I'm about to do it better than I was expecting to do it before. Like, no. Hell no.
But that's what real friend and an understanding person does, because some people don't like to be held accountable, like when they do things they're not supposed to do and the person approaches them like, well, I blah blah blah.
It is embarrassing. I think people get defenses because they're embarrassed.
It's okay, but as long as I'm not like yesterday when I told you about it, I didn't yell like, well, Jessica, you were supposed to no, I didn't do that. I just literally said, I just need you to step up, because I'm falling behind on certain things because this space is like taking up so much of my time. Because yesterday I really didn't feel like going there after work, and you know, now it gets darker now so early. It's like, fuck, I don't want to go, but let me go and get it out the way, because after we record today, I want to go home and lay down before I go to this function later. So I was like, I'm not going to Pembroke to go do any of these things. So I feel like it depends your level of friendship with people.
Yeah, I think we have too many years of friendship to get offended by each other.
That's all like, there's no need to lie or sugarcoat it. Just let her know. But I really thought she was gonna say, bitch.
No, hell no. Because I specifically told her, because she seemed overwhelmed when I made this promise to her. So I was like, don't worry about it. I got you. Because she's like, okay, let's do this right now. I'm like, right now I don't have the capacity, but on this day, I will do it. It will get done. And so she said, say less. It is what, like, it was like 9 o'clock at night. And she's like, so what's up? And I'm like, I forgot. And then she just said it. I don't know if it was, honestly, you could have yelled at me and I wouldn't have been offended. So, but yeah.
Wait, no, because you said if an adult yells at you shut down.
No, when you're yelling at me to get your point across about something that you're not understanding. Like, if I said to you and gave you a fucking deadline and I did not meet that deadline, you have every fucking right to yell at me, and I would never get offended. I remember a coworker cussed me out. Well, when I say cuss me out, I mean like in the most nicest way. Right. I told her, because I kept asking her to delegate because she was overwhelmed. I'm like, delegate to me whatever you think I can like take on, because I didn't have a lot of things on my plate at the time, because I was very new to the job. But she's still a great friend of mine, and I still like that's my dog. And so she delegated some work to me, but it dropped out of my to-do list because I was doing other things. And this is around the time that I was in Florida for 2 months. and of course sidetracked with the kids and everything else. So when she had called me the next day, like, hey, this client had asked about this. Is this all set? I was like, oh my God, I completely forgot. Let me get on that right now. And she's like, this guy, I'm gonna need you. If I'm gonna delegate, you need to do it. Like, if I can't like hold you, if I can't depend on you, when you literally asked me to delegate, then I'm not gonna delegate anymore. And I said, say less. Imagine this is a person that I have maybe less than a year friendship. So I could have easily been offended, but I told her, I was like, you know what? My bad. I'm completely sorry. I'll get that done right now. And I got it done in 30 minutes. And that's another thing. That's exactly why I procrastinate. Because I get shit done so goddamn fast, it's not even funny. But anyways, that's besides the point. Okay, my last question is, what do you love most in life? If you can break it down to just one thing.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say one word. Don't do that.
No. One thing, person. It has to be one. It could be a thing, a person, whatever. What do you love most in life?
Low key, as much as I'm not a nature person, really not. But I truly enjoy those random moments. No matter where I'm driving, even if I'm not the one driving, I'm in a car and just seeing nature in its form with no interference of humans.
Yeah.
Like, in its form. Like, okay, for example, when I was in Jamaica, I didn't get a chance to catch the sunrise because I'm still sleeping, but the sun setting, I thought it was so dope. It looked beautiful. And those are things like, it might sound cliche, but you don't realize, like, sometimes, like, okay, yes, I'm about to talk about that. That may have been my last sunset that I ever witnessed. You know what I mean? But just to look at it and see it, and I was on an island, so it was so dope. It was so beautiful. But even just like when I'm driving, especially during the summer when we have beautiful sunsets, you don't peep it because you're busy trying to get somewhere, and you sit at a stoplight and you're like, oh, the sky looks pretty, like purplish pink, and the sun's about to set, or just a rainbow just finishing from after a thunderstorm. Those are the small things. I feel like as a kid, I used to be like, ooh, that looks so pretty. But as I became an adult and busy with fast-paced life, oh my God, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta get here, I didn't take the time to cherish those moments. So just chilling and seeing nature in its element do its thing, like birds just chirping. Like those things, I'm like, oh, okay. It's like that bird has its purpose. I woke up this morning, it may have been annoying, it was waking me the fuck up, but things that we get irritated by, low key, it's like, just enjoy those little small things, because you never know where it might be your last, or something might happen that you can no longer enjoy those things no more, right? So I think, I don't know how to describe that one thing, but just nature being in itself. I don't like hanging out in the woods, I'll let you know right now, but just seeing nature in its element, I'm like, oh, this is dope. Like, I like this.
I think for me, the one thing I love most about life is when I can experience people in their vulnerable state. Because one, vulnerability is so like a no-no, and especially now, like when people can be vulnerable around me, and humans can just be themselves and not feel performative and not feel like they need to be a specific way or act a certain way, and they can just be vulnerable with me, it kind of makes me like just enjoy the human experience. It just makes me enjoy like people and appreciate them. So I think what I love most about life is when people can truly be vulnerable, and I get to be part of that, experience that, see that, in whatever capacity. I think it's dope. It makes me love it. It makes me love humanity. It makes me love, like, I think that's why I got so, I went to school for early childhood education, and I fucking hated it. I was like, I cannot be a teacher. I hate it here. And then I changed to sociology, and just the way humans interact in groups, and just like the way of thinking is just like so fascinating to me. So when I get to experience a glimpse of somebody being vulnerable, it's just like, you can never take that for granted.
And that's why I say naturally, for those of you who believe in a God, I don't think he or she ever placed us on this earth to be by ourselves. Like, you have to have some.
When you say, but that's the thing though. When you say by yourself, people think like you have to find a partner.
No. When I say by yourself, I mean not. And this is what we got to get out of our head. Stop thinking relationships all the fucking time.
Exactly. Because I'm gonna say, fix it. Jesus.
No, Stop thinking relationship. I mean, human interaction, meaning like if God didn't design us to be by ourselves in a sense, like you're supposed to have not only just family, but some type of level of friendship. Or even if you don't know a person, to be able to connect to another human being, even if they live somewhere else, you may not have shared the same home or the same workspace as them, but you guys connect on a different level.
Yeah.
Oh crap, we like the same music, or we like
especially
the same
if you don't
food.
come from the same background.
Yes, I think that's dope. And I don't think we're ever created from the time of birth. You see how babies need to connect to someone, a loving person. If you're causing them harm, they ain't gonna flourish. But a loving home, a loving person, whoever that may be, we naturally are designed to connect with other humans, not be alone in a space. In a sense, there's nothing wrong with being alone from time to time, but when it consumes you to the point that you hate human interaction, like this is when it gets concerning, because we need to interact with people. And I get it, there's some fucked up individuals out there, trust me. We try to avoid those type of people every day, but with dope humans out there, there's dope people out there. That's what I love. That's why I like to see people that you would never expect to connect with, you end up connecting with them. Yeah. So stop thinking when I talk about being alone, being in relationships, there's friendships.
I mean, my brain went there, but thank you.
No, but some people might think, oh my God, here she goes, I'm a relationship. No. Like, being alone means not having any friends, anyone you can connect with. And your only connection is social media. Those people ain't real. People be lying on the internet. Lying for free. Lying on Beyonce's internet. What's wrong with y'all?
Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed us being vulnerable. For some reason, we always find a way to make jokes out of serious fucking questions.
Well, that's black people for y'all. We joke about every damn thing.
We don't take shit serious.
We don't take nothing serious.
So, yeah, but I actually truly enjoyed this episode.
This was
fun.
I
hope you guys did too. I kind of like, my favorite episodes is when we have guests or when we just do like random questions and stuff, like drinking game, whatever. But anyways, that's all for today. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, comment, and do what you gotta do. If you are listening to us on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, whatever it is, make sure you leave a comment, leave some rating, give us a rating, whatever it is, whatever you feel we are deserving of. But yeah, I appreciate you guys checking in with us, and we'll catch you later.
Peace out.
Just different.